osteoporosis than others, or does that just kind of give you, just kind of shows you where they're at?
Well, that shows you where they're at.
Okay.
What they do is they take a little picture of the spine and the hip, and they measure the bone density and compare it to women aged 20 to 29.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be considered the optimal time in a woman's life for bone mass.
Sure.
So you're comparing a woman to that time, and if her bones are considerably less dense than someone aged 20 to 29, then you need to do something about it.
Okay.
Okay, and then, you know, you will follow that bone density test with another one down the line and see, is she continuing to lose bone?
I follow you.
Has that leveled off a bit? But certainly if her bones are weak on the first test and she's continuing to lose bone, she would be a candidate for natural estrogen and progesterone therapy.
Amazing. Now, what happens if somebody comes in, say, to your practice and has advanced osteoporosis? Is there, I mean, you know, a lot of people out there do have an advanced condition. Is there still hope for these particular people out there? I mean,
yes.
Can we still run some tests, and can we still arrest this condition maybe, or slow it down,
Yes.
should I say?
You certainly can slow down the rate of bone loss, and there's even research to suggest now that you can build bone back.
Wow.
And that wasn't believed for a long time. But now there's, like I said, there's just research coming out and showing that certain hormones tend to have some bone building properties.
Interesting.
Progesterone has been said to have some bone building properties, and the research is not exactly clear on progesterone. But DHEA and testosterone are anabolic hormones that women have as well as men.
Sure.
Women have them to lower degrees. But certainly if you check a hormone panel and women are low in those two hormones, it makes a lot of sense to supplement those women with natural hormones, provided they have no contraindications.
Absolutely.
Because then you can work on the bone building front as well as working to prevent further bone loss.
Got you. Very, very interesting.
So hormones are very important, and then we have to think about minerals. Everyone in the Western medical establishment is very fixated on calcium, and calcium is very important.
Right.
But it's not the whole picture.
Exactly.
So other minerals are just as important as calcium. Magnesium seems to be important. Some trace elements like strontium and boron, believe it or not. Vitamin D and vitamin K are very involved in bone metabolism.
So then you're able to go ahead and say, as an example, when a patient like that comes in, you can kind of assess kind of what they need by running some of these tests and say you might need some borium, or you might need some magnesium, or you might need this, or you might need that, to kind of help this condition along.
Right. Occasionally I will do a test where I look at the levels of intracellular minerals.
Very good.
And then I'm able to, you know, to really point out whether a person has a deficiency in magnesium or in calcium or something, and we'll go from there.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
This is really exciting because, you know, I know a lot of the women out there are looking for answers, and sometimes they're going and they're just taking estrogen therapies for years and for years and for years, and they're getting osteoporosis, and they say, well, just keep taking more calcium. So it sounds to me that you're a lot more in depth on these problems, and you're looking at different areas.
Yeah, and then to even go a bit further, if someone is deficient in minerals, you really want to ask the question, why?
Exactly.
Because, you know, for the most part, we eat fairly good diets. I mean, of course, people have a lot of room to improve, and I will counsel them on diets.
Sure.
But it's unusual to become extremely deficient in minerals. And if someone is, you need to ask the question, how well are they digesting and absorbing things in their diet?
Got you. Very, very interesting.
You know, occasionally women will walk around the most of their life with insufficient stomach acid production. And you need adequate stomach acid to break down your food and strip minerals off your proteins so that they're available for absorption.
Very good.
Even if you're taking vitamin supplements, you need the stomach acid in your stomach to kind of initiate breaking those down so they can be absorbed.
Great.
So if someone has severe osteoporosis, that's something I will look into as well.
Very interesting.
And then we'll talk about diet and exercise.
Sure. Let's talk about, I want to talk just for just a couple of minutes, but we don't have a lot of times.
Okay.
Let's talk just about a couple of minutes about adjunctive therapy for, say, women's reproductive cancers, because I know a lot of women are concerned about breast cancer and uterine cancer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can go on and on. Let's just kind of briefly just go over, say, breast cancers as an example.
Okay.
What can be done? Or uterine cancer. Let's just talk breast cancers. We don't have a lot of time. So let's just talk just for about a minute or two about breast cancers. What can be done, Dr. McDougall, for, say, breast cancers, or what should be done? Or how should it be approached?
From my position, I like to see women seeing their oncologists and exploring, the traditional Western methods.
Absolutely.
But I think at the same time, it's very helpful for them to be placed on healthy diets, free of toxins, and diets that will enable the immune system to act, as the best it can, because the immune system really keeps cancers from metastasizing to other parts of the body, spreading to other parts of the body.
Sure.
You need healthy cells that will rove around and capture any rogue cancer cells.
Right.
So you want to supplement the person with the appropriate diet and nutrients to optimize immune function.
Very interesting.
And then you want to take away things that are hampering immune function or distracting the immune system. Occasionally someone can have food allergies, not be aware of it, and the immune system gets very tied up and distracted dealing with foods that the person might be eating on a daily basis.
Now let me ask you a question. So in other words, then you'd work in tandem, say, with their oncologist and go ahead and maybe offer some advice from your standpoint, using natural alternatives, and still working with their oncologist and kind of working as a partner to help this particular patient that has, say, this pathology, having cancer, breast cancer, whatever it is.
That's exactly what I do. The oncologist is there to treat their cancer, but I'm there to treat them as a person. And really just to do everything we can to optimize their health, to optimize their immune function, and to rid them of any obstacles to health and a proper immune function. And often when they do that, they get much better results with their oncologist, and they often will have fewer side effects from things like chemotherapy and radiation.
Ah, interesting.
So it works both ways.
So by balancing that body, then that's what you're basically doing is checking maybe hormonal levels or maybe deficiencies what they're having, and plus maybe having chemotherapy done and doing what you're doing. Sounds like a win-win situation to me. It is.
People often get much better results that way.
Wow, that's amazing that you can approach it from what we're talking about today, and people are still just gaining their health back like that. That's incredible. We've talked about a lot of these issues today. I wish we had a lot more time, because this is a really exciting show, I know, for the women out there. And I would like to go on and on and on and on and on and on. I know we could probably talk for 2, 3, 4 hours probably on these issues, but as we're going to be running out of time, so we can't just kind of keep going on. So I would like for the women out there, if they're having any problems with their health problems right now, you can get a hold of Dr. Beth McDougall at the San Francisco Preventive Medical Group. They're on 345 West Portal Avenue in San Francisco, and her number is 415-566-1000. If you need to contact myself, I can be reached at 650-225-9900. Dr. McDougall, I really appreciate the information to give us our viewers today, because it was just invaluable. And for your women out there, if you want to contact Dr. McDougall, feel free to contact her. I hope that if you're having any of these particular problems and you're not sure of them, go ahead and feel free. I encourage you to give Dr. McDougall a call. And as always, I hope you and your family the best of good health. And thank you for joining us today on 1/2 Hour to Health. We'll see you soon. Thank you.